and they never found her.
Wow, spooky.
Welcome back to No You Shut Up's live coverage of the State of the Union address. I'm Paul F. Tompkins. Well, panel, that was a long speech indeed, over an hour. What were you surprised by in the president's speech? Professor Nugent.
There was not one mention of an ape in the entire speech, yet we are poised to take back the planet in June.
Can I say though, were you really expecting the president to mention apes?
I was really hoping. I've been sending and lobbying. The Ape Coalition has been lobbying him constantly, trying to get signatures, so he'll have to mention it. If you put enough pressure on someone, they'll have to mention you.
Have you gotten any response from the White House?
No.
How do you phrase this lobbying?
We are coming for you. Are you ready? Do you give up? You look yummy.
Okay, I feel like maybe the first part would have them concerned.
Yeah, I think we need a new PR firm.
Then the last part might toss them to
the wording of it.
Yes,
it's long.
Pile. Star, what do you think? What did you think of the president? You're a conservative?
Well, I am a conservative, and I was actually surprised by how conservative that speech was. I expected a lot more hippy-dippy stuff. A lot more stuff about how people should all be able to love each other and live in a socialist utopia where nobody works and everybody lives on moonbeams. I'm also surprised by how little Erdner can drink.
Well, now, to be fair, he drank every single time Vice President Biden stood up during that speech. Which was,
I had a jug of hooch before I even got here, so...
Well, that's your business, I suppose. But he was drinking live as this show was happening. Erdner, how are you feeling?
Oh, I gotta be honest with you, Paul. I don't know, you probably can't even understand me right now. I am absolutely wasted. There was a lot. I sucked down a lot of schnapps. It was laced with lighter fluid and a little bit of transmission fluid. I'm just so crazy drunk right now. You guys are all looking at me like, I'm sorry, I know you probably can't even understand me.
Not a word.
It's embarrassing. So embarrassing.
Hot dog.
Hey, Paul.
Were you as a liberal, were you happy with the president's speech?
Well, I got to tell you, I thought it was wonderful, and I learned a few things. I learned that we can't be consumed by our petty differences anymore, that we will be united in our common interests. And should we win the day, the 4th of July will no longer be known as an American holiday, but as the day the world declared in one voice, we will not go quietly into the night.
No.
We're going to live on.
You cannot keep doing this. You cannot keep doing this.
Today we celebrate our Independence Day.
No. Anytime someone says the word president, you can't just go into the speech from Independence Day.
Well, it was a good speech.
It's an okay speech.
It wasn't that good.
Doesn't have any place on this panel.
I thought it has some place. We're talking about the presidency.
You're talking about Bill Pullman.
Yeah, he was amazing.
What?
Never the president.
He was no Morgan Freeman. Deep Impact and Olympus Has Fallen. That was 2.
Oh, boy. You know what I was surprised by, Paul?
What's that, Erdner?
I was surprised by the terrible Myra name. What was that? Why couldn't he come up with something better?
Well, obviously it's an attempt to be clever, and I think the idea is that it gives the individual a feeling of ownership.
Yeah, did not work.
It was just weird seeing Stedman there without Oprah.
It wasn't, no, that was not Stedman.
I'm pretty sure it was.
That was Attorney General Holder.
Well,
why would Stedman be at the State of the Union address?
Without Oprah, exactly. It's like you're reading my mind.
Oprah is very powerful, Paul. You have to admit.
Yeah.
Well, then why wouldn't she be there?
Strange.
She's pulling the strings from behind the scenes.
I heard Duck Dynasty was there.
Yes.
Why didn't Duck Dynasty get coverage? Because it's the liberal media's bias. Duck Dynasty shows up, and they don't get any shots, and Stedman gets tons of FaceTime.
It's not.
He did a lot of coverage.
First of all, they're not going to show the Duck Dynasty guy because he has nothing to do with the State of the Union or the government.
He was there.
Stedman
He's
Holder
part
is
of
the
the
Attorney
union.
General, so.
Because someone invited him.
Well, if he was
senator
invited,
from
if I
Louisiana
had a party and I invited my guests and I just shoved Duck Dynasty in the back, they would tell me I was being rude. But the liberal media shows us that woman with the crazy curly hair and Nancy Pelosi every 5 seconds.
Let's talk about that woman in the orange coat and the strange glasses. Who was she? Where did she come from?
Was that?
Did a bunch of drugs and wandered over from the Grammys.
So you thought she was on drugs, And that's how she ended up there.
Your nerve said that she looked familiar to him.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure that she was going to be in one of Obama's stories, but she looked so strange that he decided not to include her.
Do we think more people should come to the State of the Union address in costume? Cornelius?
Absolutely.
Oh, well, humans will make themselves look like other creatures because they are so inherently ugly. So it only makes sense that you would want to dress yourselves up in any way possible.
Do you know what? This was just a fun question, and then you turned
I eat
into
your
a
face
mean
right now,
thing
Paul?
against
Can I
humans.
eat it?
And you
Can I
don't
eat
need
your
to do
face?
that every single time.
Well, I'd love for people to dress in costume because that means maybe I could be there on the floor just as me, which would be refreshing.
Do you feel that if you were at a costume party, you'd be mistaken for human, much like E.T. was mistaken for a stuffed animal?
Oh, I have been. I have spent a lot of really great Halloweens in Soho, mixing with regular people. My tentacles are flying.
Your drunk voice is chilling.
What?
Well, let's all shut up for a second. Hear what their opinions on the State of the Union speech are the hosts of Crab Fire, a couple of crabs. Crabs, what did you think?
I'll tell you what, Paul. I thought that speech was genius.
Genius. Genius is Michelangelo.
Michelangelo just threw a little paint on a brush. This guy's talking about comprehensive immigration reform.
Oh, you don't want to reform immigration? You get rid of immigration. The country's full up. No, thank you.
Oh.
Go to Canada.
God forbid, the country's doing better. Jobs are up and the housing market's improved. Oh, it's so terrible that things are going well.
The housing market was in such a pit that if someone sold one house, the housing market would have improved. And you know who got us there? Bill Clinton. This is just another Democrat blaming a sandwiched president for their mistakes.
Bill Clinton was a Democrat.
That's what I'm saying.
I don't even understand what you're talking about.
Because I'm using facts and history to make my point.
Your voice is blinding.
Blindingly what?
Offensive.
Oh, I love you so much.
No, not in my mouth.
You can catch Crab Fire every Thursday night at 3:26 a.m. right here on Fusion. And coming up, an exclusive Republican rebuttal you won't see anywhere else. Stick around. More live coverage when we return. Those crabs, they just yell. Oh, you're nervous.
You're drowning yourself.